Another man knows more about your woman than you do. Her frustrations. He hears them. Her secrets. He reads them. Her smile. It's for him, not you. She's laughing at her phone. You're watching the game. You think you're in control, but you've already lost the frame. Betrayal didn't start when she left. It started the moment her attention did. You've seen that look before. The quiet smile that isn't for you. The quick glance at her screen followed by a soft, "It's just a friend." You want to believe her. You want to believe loyalty still means what it used to. But something inside you knows better. Her laughter feels different now. Lighter. Detached. As if it belongs somewhere else. That's how betrayal works today. Not lipstick, not lies. Just a shift in focus. One spark of curiosity that turns into habit. A conversation that never ends. She doesn't need to sneak out. She only needs to check out. One message at the wrong time. One look at her phone. And suddenly she's gone without ever moving. You still have her body, but not her connection. Her presence, but not her attention. You tell yourself you're imagining it, that couples go through phases, but you're not paranoid, you're perceptive. You're feeling the quiet panic every man feels when loyalty begins to fade. This is betrayal, now invisible, digital, emotional. It doesn't shout. It drifts. It hides behind screens, behind laughs, behind nothing's wrong. And every time her phone lights up, she's reminded she has options. Reminded that loyalty today has an expiration date. Stay with me, because once you understand how betrayal really happens, you'll never confuse proximity with devotion again. This isn't fear, it's awareness. And awareness is the first step toward control. You think betrayal means cheating. No, that's the ending, not the beginning. Not lipstick on a collar. Not a missing night. Not a stranger's number in her phone. Those are symptoms. The real betrayal happens long before that. It starts when loyalty turns into performance. When she stays physically faithful, but mentally starts exploring exits. When her heart begins to drift while her body stays in the same bed. That's not loyalty, that's technical compliance. A relationship on autopilot, held together by convenience, routine, and fear of being alone. You can't see it, because it doesn't look like betrayal. It looks like laughter at her phone. It sounds like you're overthinking it. It feels like silence after you talk. You tell yourself everything's fine, because she's still here. But presence means nothing without connection. Modern betrayal isn't dramatic. It's efficient. It's invisible. It hides behind the glow of a screen, behind conversations labeled just friends, behind emotional exchanges she swears don't count. And the most dangerous part, she truly believes they don't. She's loyal by definition, but not by devotion. She's with you, but not for you. Her body belongs to your relationship. Her emotions belong to the world. That's what I call technical loyalty, physical faithfulness, emotional promiscuity. She won't cheat with her hands. She cheats with her attention. Every message, every like, every small interaction becomes a drip feed of validation, little sparks that keep her feeling wanted, desired, relevant. It's not about the man she's texting. It's about the mirror he provides, a reflection that says, you still have options. And that illusion is addictive. You think you're competing with another man. You're not. You're competing with her own need to feel seen. You're competing with the dopamine rush of digital affection, the tiny hits of attention that make her feel alive. You can't fight that by being jealous. You can only recognize it for what it is, the slow disintegration of intimacy. And here's the cruel twist: she won't even notice it happening. She'll call it harmless. She'll say, "I'd never cheat." And she's right by her definition, because in her mind, cheating means something physical. But what she's doing is more dangerous. She's feeding emotional energy into something outside your relationship, while convincing herself she's still loyal. That's the new battlefield. Not bedrooms, but message threads. Not confessions, but conversations. Not affairs, but attachments. The modern betrayal doesn't need passion. It only needs distraction. And if you don't understand that difference, you'll never see it coming until she's already gone in every way that matters. It never happens all at once. Betrayal grows quietly, like corrosion under paint. You don't notice it until the surface cracks, but by then, it's already deep. At first, it feels innocent. She's just chatting, just venting, just laughing at something funny. You don't see the danger because it doesn't look like one. You see her smiling at her phone, and she tells you it's nothing. Maybe you even believe her, because believing her is easier than admitting what's happening, the slow drift of emotional intimacy away from you. She's not sneaking out. She's logging in. She's not hiding her actions. She's hiding her emotions. That's the genius of modern betrayal. It doesn't need secrecy. It just needs access. All it takes is a conversation that feels safer than the one she has with you. A space where she can be unfiltered, unjudged, unchallenged. That's where it starts. Women don't fall suddenly. They slide. A message here. A little connection there. A shared complaint. A bit of laughter. A you-get-me moment that hits differently. Each exchange chips away at the boundaries that used to define loyalty. And the whole time, she tells herself it's harmless. But it's not harmless. It's a transfer of energy, one you can't see. Every emotional disclosure she shares with someone else is intimacy that used to belong to you. Every compliment she accepts from another man is a deposit into her self-esteem account, withdrawn from your relationship's trust. That's technical loyalty in action. She's not cheating, not technically, but she's feeding connection into another space. She's giving another man the version of her that used to only be yours, the playful, vulnerable, open version. And once she gives that part away, she doesn't get it back. You'll start to feel it before you see it. The conversations get shorter. The silence lasts longer. Her eyes drift more often toward her phone than toward you. The warmth that used to be automatic now feels conditional. You can feel her energy divided, and no matter how much you love her, you can't compete with the thrill of being newly seen. She doesn't think she's doing anything wrong, because in her mind, as long as nothing physical happens, she's loyal. But emotional betrayal doesn't need a body. It only needs attention, and that's the currency of modern connection. So, while you're trusting her presence, she's slowly transferring her emotional investment elsewhere. It's not a choice she makes in one moment. It's 100 micro decisions she never questions. And by the time you realize what's happening, you'll find yourself lying next to someone who's already emotionally gone. That's not an affair. That's an extraction. It always hides behind the same phrase, "he's just a friend." Those 4 words have destroyed more men than lies ever could. Because they sound innocent, they sound believable. And that's what makes them dangerous. You see, she'll never introduce betrayal as betrayal. She introduces it as connection. She'll tell you about him just enough to make it sound transparent. He's from work. We've been friends forever. We just get along. It sounds casual, harmless, but that's the mask. The real danger is in what you don't see. She's not confiding in him by accident. She's doing it because it feels good. He listens without judgment. He laughs at her jokes. He says the things you used to say before routine and comfort muted your fire. He's not replacing you yet, he's rehearsing. And every conversation they share rehearses a reality where she doesn't need you to feel understood. She won't call it emotional cheating. She'll call it venting. She'll say, "You can't be mad. He's just my friend." But when she tells him things she hides from you, that's not venting, that's intimacy relocation. Every private thought, every complaint, every detail about your life that lands in his inbox becomes the soil for emotional replacement. And here's what most men don't realize when she talks about you to another man. She's teaching him how to replace you. He doesn't listen. He's been distant lately. We've been fighting a lot. She thinks she's just expressing frustration. But what she's really doing is handing another man a blueprint. Every flaw she exposes becomes a path for him to enter. He plays the long game. He nods, he agrees, he positions himself as the opposite of you. Where you're logical, he's emotional. Where you're busy, he's available. He doesn't need to chase, she's already walking toward him. And she knows. Don't believe for a second she doesn't. Women always know when a man wants more than friendship. They feel the energy, they sense the tension. And instead of cutting it off, they manage it. They balance on the edge of temptation, getting all the validation without paying the price. This is what I call emotional diversification. She's not replacing you, she's building options. Backup plans disguised as friendships. A network of what-ifs to soften the blow if you ever fail to meet her expectations. You'll see it in the way she angles her phone when she texts, the way her expression shifts when you walk into the room. That split second of guilt that vanishes behind a smile. That's the micro-betrayal, the invisible erosion of trust happening in real time. And when it all comes crashing down, she'll still say, "We never did anything." And she'll be right, but only technically. Because emotional betrayal doesn't need touch. It just needs access. The modern battlefield of loyalty isn't the bedroom anymore. It's the screen. The phone in her hand isn't just a tool, it's a portal. A gateway to endless validation. A digital mirror reflecting how wanted she still is. Every post she makes is bait. Every photo is a soft confession. Tell me I still matter. You see her scrolling, smiling, adjusting her hair before she snaps that casual selfie. But that picture isn't for her friends. It's not even for herself. It's for the invisible audience she secretly performs for. Social media has turned attention into a currency, and she's rich in it. She knows exactly how to spend it too. A feeling cute post here, a gym mirror pic there. You call it content. She calls it confidence. But what it really is a quiet flirtation with the world. Every like is a microdose of dopamine. Every comment is a new spark of significance. And she doesn't even have to reply. The validation works passively. The moment she opens that app, she's surrounded by men who confirm her worth. You think you're her source of affection? But you're competing with a feed full of strangers who don't even know her name. You can't outdo that. You can't fight an algorithm built to make her feel desired every minute of the day. She's chasing the high of being noticed, a high that no single relationship can match. The world tells her it's empowerment. Post what makes you feel good. You deserve to feel beautiful. But beneath all that positivity lies addiction. A craving for attention disguised as confidence. And the scariest part, she doesn't see it as betrayal. Because no one ever told her that emotional exposure can be disloyalty too. She's not cheating. Right. She's just posting. She's just scrolling. She's just replying. But every post, every story she crafts is another breadcrumb leading her out of your relationship. She's not addicted to one man. She's addicted to the possibility of all men, the constant reminder that she could have more, that she could do better, that she's still desired, and that endless what-if becomes poison. So while you're sitting next to her, thinking she's just scrolling, she's subconsciously measuring you against the attention she gets online. Every compliment she receives makes your silence feel louder. Every reaction she collects makes your presence feel smaller. You're fighting a ghost, army men she'll never meet, but who still live rent-free in her validation loop. That's the silent killer of loyalty today. Not infidelity, not distance, just a phone lighting up again and again, reminding her she's wanted everywhere but where she is. Once she's emotionally gone, the story starts to change. Quietly, strategically. The same woman who once bragged about you now speaks like she's enduring you. The narrative shifts not all at once, but word by word, conversation by conversation. She starts telling people you've changed, that you're not as attentive as before, that things just aren't the same. She turns normal relationship friction into evidence of her unhappiness. Every argument becomes another chapter in a story where she's the victim and you're the reason she stopped feeling alive. That's reputation betrayal, the kind that happens while you're still together. She paints herself as the misunderstood heroine, the woman who tried everything while the world nods in sympathy. It's emotional alchemy. She converts guilt into justification. And when she finally crosses a line, whether it's an emotional affair, secret conversations, or the quiet detachment that breaks your trust, she already has her defense ready. I wasn't happy. You stopped trying. You made me feel invisible. She doesn't betray you then. She's been preparing the stage for months. Her friends become her jury. Social media becomes her courtroom. She's not confessing, she's campaigning. The truth doesn't matter anymore. Only the perception does. And in that perception, she's the wounded one who had to find herself. Then the rewriting begins inside her head. She forgets how you used to make her laugh, how you stayed when things were hard, how you protected, supported, forgave. Those memories get replaced with the curated version that fits her new story, the one where she was always giving, and you were always failing. It's not memory loss, it's emotional editing. She's reshaping the past to justify the present. Because if she convinces herself you were the problem, she doesn't have to face the truth about her disloyalty. It's not betrayal, it's evolution. It's not selfishness, it's healing. She'll call it growth. Her friends will call it bravery. And you'll be left wondering how the same woman who once swore she'd never hurt you now tells people she had to leave for her peace. But what she's really doing is protecting her ego. She's rewriting history to save face. Because deep down, even she knows loyalty doesn't die naturally. It's killed. And it's always killed in silence, long before it's buried publicly. So when she walks away, don't expect closure. Expect revision. Expect her to make herself the hero and you the lesson. That's the cruelest betrayal of all. Not when she leaves your side, but when she rewrites the story to make it look like she was never really there. After she rewrites the story, she starts building her exit. Not with luggage, not with goodbyes, with options. You won't see her packing, you'll see her planning. Every new conversation, every friendly check-in, every reconnection with a guy from her past, it's all part of the setup. She's not leaving yet. She's making sure she can. That's the backup plan. It's not cheating in the traditional sense. It's preemptive betrayal, emotional insurance against unhappiness. She's keeping potential replacements warm, testing the water, seeing what still bites. You think she's loyal because she comes home every night, but she's already diversifying her emotional portfolio. She won't cut these men off because she needs them, not romantically, psychologically. Each one plays a role: the one who listens, the one who flirts, the one who reminds her she's still desirable. Together, they form a safety net strong enough to catch her if she decides to fall. And here's the cruel irony: she'll look happier than ever. She'll post more, smile more, laugh louder. You'll think things are getting better. But what you're seeing isn't joy. It's relief. Relief that she's not trapped anymore. Relief that she has options again. That's the illusion of happiness, the performance of contentment while quietly detaching underneath. Every selfie, every grateful for growth caption, every couple photo she still posts is part of the act. She's not proving love. She's managing perception. She's crafting a story, a soft landing for when she leaves. We just grew apart. I wasn't happy for a long time. He's a great guy. But you can hear the lines forming before she ever says them out loud. By the time she walks away, her script will be flawless. Meanwhile, you're still trying, still showing up, still believing that if you just work harder, she'll notice. But she's not looking for repair, she's rehearsing independence. The calm you feel isn't peace, it's withdrawal. The absence of conflict because she's already decided you're not worth fighting for. That's why modern betrayal feels so invisible. It doesn't end with a dramatic explosion. It ends quietly, in perfect smiles, in polite hugs, in captions about finding myself again. She won't leave because she hates you. She'll leave because she's made peace with losing you. And that peace is the final stage of disloyalty. By the time you realize what's happening, she'll already have her escape routes mapped, her support lined up, and her story ready to tell. She's not wondering if she'll leave. She's just deciding when. The truth is, she isn't entirely to blame. The world taught her to think this way. Loyalty used to be a virtue. Now it's a limitation. Commitment used to be strength. Now it's called settling. Somewhere along the line, the rules changed, and no one told the men still playing by them. She's been told that her happiness matters more than her honor, that her feelings are her compass, even when they lead her off course, that the second she stops feeling fulfilled, she owes it to herself to walk away, and the culture around her applauds it. Do what makes you happy. You deserve better. Don't let anyone hold you back. That's the modern gospel: self before substance, emotion before integrity, options before loyalty. And she's been baptized in it since the day she picked up a phone. Every post, every influencer, every friend, stuck in the same loop, tells her the same thing: you can always do better. So she learns to treat relationships like playlists. Skip the song that doesn't fit the mood. Move on to the next. You think you're building a life together? She thinks she's curating experiences. And once she's had her fill of yours, she scrolls for the next high. That's the new logic of disloyalty: betrayal by design. Not fueled by malice, but by convenience. She doesn't wake up choosing to hurt you. She just follows what she's been taught, that temporary excitement is worth more than permanent devotion. That attention equals love. That boundaries are oppression. And when you try to draw the line, when you ask for loyalty, they call it insecurity. Why are you jealous? Why can't you trust me? Because in this new world, asking for consistency is controlling. Expecting respect is toxic. Wanting loyalty makes you the problem. Meanwhile, the same culture that praises her freedom still expects your stability. You can't have your options. You're supposed to stay grounded while she floats between validation sources. You're supposed to be the rock while she experiments with the wind. And if you dare to question it, You're labeled the villain in her next story. It's not that she's evil, it's that she's programmed, raised by screens that glorify self-importance, surrounded by people who confuse validation with self-worth, trained to chase feelings over principles. And the more she believes that narrative, the less capable she becomes of real loyalty. That's what men are up against now, not just other men, but the entire system feeding her ego. A world that sells rebellion as empowerment and paints consistency as weakness. You're not just trying to earn her trust. You're fighting an algorithm designed to make her forget why loyalty ever mattered in the first place. By the time you notice it, it's already too late. She's still there, but she isn't yours anymore. Her laughter sounds the same, but it's not for you. Her phone lights up, and so does she. You're looking at the woman you love, but you're only seeing what's left of her attention. That's what betrayal looks like now. It's not an affair. It's an exit in stages. She doesn't walk out. She drifts away, slowly, quietly, so subtly that you'll blame yourself before you ever realize what really happened. You'll tell yourself it was your fault. You worked too much. You got too comfortable. You stopped doing the little things. And maybe some of that's true, but that's not why she left. She left because the world made her believe loyalty was optional, because society taught her that comfort was complacency, and that leaving was self-love. That's the modern equation. If it doesn't excite me, it doesn't serve me. And in a world that worships excitement, no one stays long enough to build anything that lasts. So what can you do? You can't control her loyalty. You can't fight every man online. You can't compete with an algorithm. But you can control what you allow, what you tolerate, and what you invest in. You can stop mistaking attention for affection. You can stop believing that proximity equals connection. Protect your energy the way she protects her options. Stop chasing her feelings. Track her patterns. Stop trying to convince her to stay. Build yourself so she'd regret leaving. Because loyalty, in this world, isn't something you're owed. It's something you attract through discipline, strength, and clarity. A woman who values herself through validation will never stay loyal to one source of it. But a woman grounded in respect will never risk losing it. That's the truth. Modern men don't want to hear loyalty now as a test of values, not feelings. Feelings fade. Standards don't. So you have two choices. You can play the old game, hoping she stays loyal out of love, or you can learn the new rules. The ones that say, don't beg for loyalty in a world that sells attention. Guard your peace. Guard your time. Guard your mind. Because betrayal doesn't always come with tears and confession. Sometimes it comes with a smile, a phone light, and a woman who swears she's still yours while her heart scrolls elsewhere. The modern world changed love into performance and loyalty into a mood. And if you don't learn to see the difference, you'll keep mistaking closeness for connection and trust for truth. So take this as a warning. Loyalty isn't dead. It's just hiding, and only men who can see through illusion will ever find it again. Don't say you weren't warned. And if this made you rethink everything, drop it in the comments. Hit subscribe because next time we go even deeper. Share this with a brother who's still blind to the quiet betrayal.